Howdy y'all, happy Wednesday, welcome back yet again. So today I want to go over how to feel the artist. This is that inner part of you that is waiting to be let free. It's all your imagination, all your dreams, everything that your reality could be. How do we tap in to this inner artist, okay? And this applies to everyone across the world. Everyone has a different artist within them, and we all have different ways to tap into it. You know, for some, it may just be a walk in nature. If you're an Austrian painter, it may be taking a nice long shower. God, I can't believe I just made a Hitler joke. Moving on. So, firstly, I want to cover what paint are we using. And before I go any further, I'm going to explain this small box, which I'm sure you guys can't even read. But the paint that I'm going to be talking about is your thoughts, beliefs, and words. The brushes I'm going to be relating to are your old actions versus divine action. And your easel is your framework. This is your vibration, right? This is where you're going to be painting your picture, the framework that you are going to be putting your creation into, all right? So I want to go over kind of what we have been doing, why our realities may suck, and then how we can kind of change them, right? Because everything kind of isn't great until we make it great, but we have to become conscious of the fact there's a problem first. And how are we going to do that? Well, we have to figure out what fucking paint are we using. Like I said, thoughts, beliefs, words. What words are we telling ourselves? What self-beliefs do we have in our life? Guys, we have to be conscious that if we want to create something, we can't keep listening to these outside sources that tell us that, oh, no, you can't do that. Or, oh, that's not safe. Or, I haven't seen somebody else that's achieved in that field before, so you can't do it. Or, oh, I didn't start a business, so you can't start a business, right? These voices on the exterior can impact who we are on the interior. And over time, we start to believe the things that we surround ourselves with, and we acclimate to them. We've all heard that saying before, that you become the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time around. Well, why is that? It's because you start to adapt to their way of being. You adapt to their actions. You adapt to their beliefs, their words, and their thoughts. I mean, it's like you become them, right? So we have to become very conscious of the paint that we are using. And is this the paint that is going to be the same paint that will be used to paint our future that is absolutely perfect and pristine? Because something tells me, guys, it's probably not. I had a lot of faulty paint in my collection. There were a lot of colors that I was like, yeah, I can't use that one anymore. That's not who I am anymore. It doesn't make sense for me to put it on that painting. So you have to change some paint. Next part, what is your intention, desire, purpose for painting? So this is an action of what is the creation for? So you want something in life. You want to shape your reality. You want to receive something. Why do you want it? Do you even talk to yourself about it? Do you set an intention to achieve it? Do you set a desire within yourself? And what does that sound like when you set that desire? Is it a declarative statement? Are you telling your subconscious brain, yes, I am this. I am that. Or are we just whimsically saying, oh, it would be nice? Because let me tell you one thing, a little tip. If we just talk to ourselves and say, oh, well, that would be nice, that's not going to get you anywhere in life. It's not going to get you anything solved, okay? You have to be a maniac about this. You have to believe in the finality of the solution before it comes to fruition, okay? So if, let's say, you want a brand new job, you have to believe and you have to set a desire that you are working that brand new job. You have an intention that you are working there. You're already there and you're feeling the emotions on the inside, right? That's the beauty of setting an intention, and having a desire and a fucking purpose is you're saying, no, that's what I want. I am this, okay? And if we as humans consciously say to ourselves, enough, and this is what I want, and we use declarative statements, your subconscious brain has no other option than to accept it, and then it must show it to you within your reality. Okay? But this is part of the process, because what the paint is that is in your collection, I want to paint a picture for how reality creation kind of works with the analogy of painting. So imagine you have 100 different paints, 100 different colors, right? You have an image in your mind of what you'd like, but then you also have a bunch of emotions about that picture, that thing that you want to create, whatever it may be. All right? So you have that feeling, you have the emotion, and you don't know how it's going to end up looking. But what you end up getting on the easel is kind of like you take the 100 colors and you dump them all into your subconscious brain. Okay? All the paint goes in your subconscious brain. These are all the thoughts, beliefs, and words. All right? And then your subconscious brain doesn't actually see physical reality. It doesn't actually have conscious thought. It just has the emotions. So it has all these emotions that it wants to express to you because your subconscious brain serves the higher brain. So it's going to take all that paint and it's going to express it into your reality. So if you want to truly change what comes out of that painting at the end, it doesn't so much matter about what you wish to have or, oh God, I hope this turns out well. It doesn't matter about that. It matters about your belief in the exact moment. It matters about your feeling state in the exact moment. How would you feel if it turned out perfect? Happy? Blissful? Joy? Okay, then we need to have those paints right here get dumped into the subconscious. If you guys are in a different state, a lower vibrational state of being, where maybe it's the lustful nature, right? Struggled with that in the past. Maybe it's addictions. Maybe it's you're envious. Maybe it's greed. But if you have all those paints and that gets dumped in your subconscious, then that is what's going to be expressed into your reality, okay? So we have to be very conscious of the paint that we are using and the intention, desire, and purpose we are setting when we are going into the paint. These are the emotions that we are trying to imprint on our subconscious, okay? This is us trying to control our subconscious brain to change our reality. Now, next part, I want to get into friends and family, maybe relationships might play into this. But are you surrounded with creation or destruction? And this one hits home with me because when I was in college, side note, I don't have any friends from college anymore. Not a one. Not one of those guys that I was friends with in college am I still friends with to this day. And the reason for that was when we were in school, I was getting worse. I was getting rubbed off on by these guys. Now, I was no angel. Of course, I probably rubbed off on them in bad ways too and made them worse. But a lot of the activities they would do, I mean, it was a lot of drinking, a lot of partying, not really too in-depth on the studying and caring about the school in general. Lots of sleeping around and just all-around degeneracy, okay? And I wasn't leveling up. I wasn't. Okay, I was getting worse, I was getting fatter, I was getting out of shape. I mean, I was just sleeping around, being an absolute man whore. It is what it is, okay? But I was surrounding myself with destruction. And then I kept asking myself, why the fuck can't I find a good girl? Why can't I find what I'm looking for? Why can't I find my passion in life? It's like I was just stuck in this lower state of being permanently because I had become the average of the people I surrounded myself with. None of these guys were going to be successful. They're all probably going to end up being losers because that's just who they were, okay? They didn't have the drive. They didn't have the passion. They were the type of people that wanted things handed to them, okay? So being surrounded with that for long enough, it becomes who you are. So it's very important to surround yourself with creation rather than destruction. Next, how to do that, going into mindfulness and discernment. So mindfulness, this will be like your meditative practice. This will be your walks in nature. It will be your conversation with God or your higher self, however you want to see it, whatever you see fit. Okay? And you're going to ask yourself some good questions. I want you to talk to yourself about the paint that you're using. I want to talk to yourself about the brushes, right? The action versus divine action that you've been taking. And then also the framework, the easel. Talk to yourself, what's my vibration at? What am I struggling with? What emotions are coming up on the day-to-day basis? What anxieties do I have? What pains have I suffered? What traumas are left uncovered here? So it's so important with a practice of mindfulness, and this goes hand in hand with shadow work in a way, where you find the root of the problem and then you have to transmute it. You have to be very mindful of understanding it. Don't get mad at it, right? We've been mad at it our entire life. That's not gonna fucking help, okay? So what we need to do is throw the paint out. But to throw the paint out, we have to look at it, zoom out, and then say, why is this paint bad for me? And a lot of people have not had that conversation with things yet. And when they start to do it, their life will change. I promise you that. Drastically change. Because that is when the light bulb goes off. That's like, wow, I've been doing this for how many years, and just now I'm finally having the conversation that it's probably not good for me? I sound like a cockhead saying this all the time, like, oh yeah, many people don't do this because I'm perfect. I'm not fucking perfect. I got a fucking DUI. I've been a drug addict for years and years in my life, okay? Do you know how long it took for me to finally come to terms with the fact that alcohol and me just probably don't belong together? I mean, how many potential DUIs could I have gotten? 100? But I only got rung up for 1. And so now I chalk that up to God was protecting me, but I was running on grace for a long time. Oh, I was running on some grace. So it's very important that we are mindful and use this discernment, because eventually we will run out of grace. If you do not learn your lessons, it doesn't matter how much you are meant for in this life. It doesn't matter what your divine purpose is. If you refuse to learn the lessons, it kind of goes back to football. It's when the coach goes silent. That's when you know it's over, okay? If the coach is still yelling at you, right? If God's still helping you, he's still saying, hey, motherfucker, wake up, that way. No, God damn it, the bitches are over there. Wifey's over there, my guy. She's over there, go. She's waiting for you. She's even smiling at you. What type of signs do you need? See, when he goes completely silent, that's not what you want, okay? So we need to do the mindfulness. We need to use the discernment to not only change the paint that is in our paint box or whatever the fuck artists call that thingy, but also tackle our intentions, desires, purposes, right? Use mindfulness to actually dig into these, discover what you truly want out of your reality, out of your life, and then start to ingrain them into yourself, right? Because that's important. You are what you think. So you need to change your thoughts. You need to change your desires, change your purpose. Okay? And then we need to use discernment, mainly discernment. Of course, mindfulness to ask yourself the questions. This is all same thing. But discernment to look at the people that we surround ourselves with, the environment that we surround ourselves with, to figure out, is this one conducive to creation or is it conducive to destruction? And what are we trying to create? Okay? And let's try and put ourselves in a state of creation with the paint we need and our intention, desire, and purpose on that divine path. All right? And then the last part, and this is kind of going back to the mindfulness, discernment, trauma healing, all that. the importance of cleaning your brushes and your easel as well as throwing out your paint. Okay, so just because you've been a bad person in the past, not saying you are a bad person, right? I'll admit, I've been terrible. I've been fucking Satan. It's awesome. But now, I'm much better, right? But I'm not going to hold myself to who I used to be. This is what I mean when I say we have to clean our brushes, our easel, and change the paint. All right, if you used to paint the most horrific, just nightmarish scenes with your life, right? That was your reality. And now you've been doing the shadow work, the mindfulness, the discernment to change all of this. Well, now you got new colors. Okay, well, the paint's different. Are you still going to hold yourself and say, I'm the artist that did that horrific nightmare painting over there? Or are we going to start to say, no, this is who I am now. Okay, I am this person that's drawing these vibrant, colorful rainbows. And amazing landscapes and scenic views, and it's serenity and tranquility. It's incredible, right? That is what we are now. So it's very important to clean it up, right? To deal with the trauma, accept the trauma, that we were that person and we no longer are that person. That's the key. That's the key right there. Acceptance. Hey, you know what? I was a piece of shit. But you know what? I don't want to be one anymore. So I'm going to do this. All right. And the brushes. Old action versus divine action. Going on the whole, I don't want to be a piece of shit anymore trope of this video. So if you had old actions that you were taking, this is the brush, you're not going to be doing those anymore. You're going to be taking divine action. And divine action comes particularly from intention, desire, and purpose, okay? Because when you set an intention, desire, and purpose, at least for me, let me know if you have it any different, guys, but that's when I feel from source the answers I need. That's when I get them the most. When I set an intention in the morning that I am going to make a video today, right? I set an intention, and then usually I'll either get it while I'm meditating or when I'm walking my dog outside, right? I'm not thinking, I'm not looking for what I'm going to make a video about. I don't fucking care. I already know it's going to be handed to me, because the way I like to live my life now is I live in this happy state where I understand. I'm like, bro, I'm going to have it given to me. It's the art of receiving. I asked, and now I'm going to receive. I still have to put in the divine action. I still have to put in the work. I have to write this out, and I have to make the video. However, it's being given to me because I'm setting an intention to have it, and then you follow through with that divine action. The divine action is the follow through of creating your reality from that higher state of consciousness, right? Divine action is those intuitive thoughts when you follow them. All right? And then finally, Easel, the framework, the vibration. Guys, as we change our paint, we're going to raise our vibration. As we deal with trauma, we're going to raise our vibration. As we get rid of people that are destructive to us, we are going to raise our vibration. As we set an intention for the future, that is a brilliant future. It is a beautiful future. We are going to raise our vibration. Okay? So when I talk about vibration and your easel, why is that so important? Well, because you need to upgrade it. You see, if you have an old damaged easel in a lower state of vibration, a lower state of being, right? Your paintings, your ability to solve problems is going to be much lower in that state. You know, I've probably quoted the same quote multiple times by now, but I believe it was Einstein who said it, that if you look to solve a problem, you're never going to solve it from the current state of consciousness that created it. And all he means is consciousness is like vibration. It's a spectrum. And as you increase consciousness, which would happen by dealing with our traumas, dealing with the inside piece of ourselves that we can't come to terms with, okay, that's consciousness. That's understanding. That's growing up. So as that raises, we need to change out our easel, because this one ain't going to cut it anymore. We're up here now. So if we're up here, our paint's up here, and our brush is up here, guess what that painting of our life is going to look like? Well, it's going to look like it was painted by a painter that's living up here, not down here, okay? And that's the whole point of this entire video, is to feel the artist, guys. We are changing all of our equipment. We are changing who we are. We are becoming and stepping into who we are meant to be. And in the process of doing that, yes, there are growing pains. Yes, you may have to get rid of some paint. You might have to throw out your fucking easel. All right? Your brushes are gristled and they're disgusting looking and they're beat up to fuck. Yeah, you're gonna have to get rid of them. I hate to be that guy, but you can just go on Amazon, okay? You guys, you have to embrace this. You have to step into it. It's so much easier once you do this in your life. It genuinely is. But you have to become conscious of it. You have to become conscious that you are the only one that creates your reality. I understand the outside impacts, okay? But what I'm telling you is you have the power of mindfulness and discernment, as well as being able to change your paint, your intention, desires. You have complete fucking control. All right? So find the things that make you happy and chase those. And find the things that are dragging you down. Look at them. Decide for yourself if you can keep them. And if you can, figure out a way to fit them in where they don't harm you. And if you can't, get rid of them. Okay? That's the process. It's a process. It's not overnight. But let me tell you, once you get going, it's going to feel real good. It's going to feel spicy. All right, so I got to get out of here. My dog keeps looking at me. I think he wants to go to the dog park. Hey, Ajax, you want to go find some bitches? Yeah, he wants to go find some bitches. Love you guys. See you tomorrow.